Hello, and welcome to Year Long Alarm. It's one of my favourite mods of all time, and I'll be playing through it today, just having a little look at some of the gameplay elements they've included in there, some of the visuals they've included in there, and talking through some things it does well. It's one of the best mods out there you can play. It's very short, about sort of 20 minutes, half an hour max. And we're going to jump right in. It's a fantastic little set piece of what you can really do with the Half-Life 2 engine and its assets. It utilises everything so well. It's a fantastic game. So it's got a nice intro, utilising the scanner as a way of transitioning things naturally, which I think is a great way of doing it cleverly. The gameplay to begin with, obviously you find the gravity gun to begin with, which is a good start. You know, it gets the player to use it. The clever thing is here they've got this box that you have to move out the way. You can't lift this up, so if you don't get the gravity gun, you ain't getting out of here. I like how we're given a very clear indication: red light, activate lift. It's nice and easy knowing what you need to do. Things are really nicely detailed, actually, using all the basic assets. There's nothing really here new, I don't think, but everything's been used really effectively. Like the brushwork is fantastic. I don't know if these are regular brush with their props, not quite sure. It's quite a smooth piece of light there, so that could well be a prop made in proper, but it's really nicely done. Very effective. If you look around, you can get a few goodies using the old gravity gun. Let's head up and carry on with the game. I like the little preview there to the Combine that are coming to get you. It's a nice way of sort of showcasing that they're there without making it too obvious to the player. Along with all the alarms in the background and everything else, you kind of know something's up. You're just not quite sure what yet. So now that we grab the crowbar, we are able to enter the lift. I've never gone this way. I wonder if you can go that way. No, they've clipped that off. Bit of a shame. Now, absolutely nothing will happen until I get in the lift, which is nice, because obviously it's the first area. You don't want to swamp the player with things they can't really kill just yet. You've got a crowbar and not much else. So as soon as you step into the lift, and then you press the button, that's when the Combine storm in, and the Metro Cops come and try and get you. It's nice hearing the chatter gut there. This is a great bit of presentation, having the lift fall down. Very classic. Very cool looking lift. Really nice looking use of the brushwork there, actually. It feels like it could well be a model from a distance, unless you kind of really look at it. And the idea is, for a lot of these things, you know, players are just going to walk past them at the end of the day. So it's good to have things that look good on a glance. You don't want things to be like too detailed when they're not going to be looking at it. Like these walls are very low res, but again, you're just walking past this area. Unless you're me staring at every wall, sticking your face into it, it's just something you just kind of see and then move on from. A very cool little effect to have the panel fall off just there. This is a beautiful vista, a really nice area where you can see where you're going to be going, and it highlights all the key points with little lights, which is really nicely done. A really cool bit of a level design just there. Oh. See you, friend. Nice head crab surprise there. Oh, we've got a little bit of clipping there. That's a shame. But I know these props are a bit weird to use. I know if you've ever tried to use the Half-Life 2 railings, they're not the best designed. They got better in later Source games where they put origin points in a bit more of a logical location. And they made them sort of line up more with sort of boxy designs, but these occasionally go a bit funny. There'll occasionally be gaps, there'll occasionally be clipping. Yeah, they really improved that later on. And again, you can tell that seeing as you're walking past this area, the detailed level is not too high. Bit of a dangerous place in here. Some nice brush-based shelves just there. Simple design, but works out well. All the graphics here have just kind of like enough detail It's not too much, it's just that right amount to look detailed enough, which is good. This is clever, having the switch you need to switch being highlighted by the zombie in the window. So you know, hey, come get this. Well thought out. And it's nice to have very slow paced enemies. You're kind of being sort of led into the map. You're not being thrown into a big hardcore area to begin with. There's no massive combine or antlions or zombies. You just got a few to deal with just to kind of keep going. And again, you can see the got the power switch here again that we've had earlier on. Plug that in, but it's red. So what's the problem there? Well, if you follow the wires, you can tell the program to switch this switch over here. It's all very well connected up. And then, of course, where do we have to go? We've got nowhere to go, but we also got the vent just here that leads us to thinking we need to be heading around here to where the vent is, which is nice. Oh. Yeah, you can... I think they have slightly different reaches. The crawling zombies compared to the regular zombies, they have slightly different reaches to how far they can go. Nice to include the torso, a nice grisly detail there, but at least it kind of shows the connected story element of it all, that, you know, this is the zombie. He came out, obviously got majorly injured, but he's still going. I really like the light vent trim here. That's a really nice kind of bit of detailing. Also nice that it's kind of not stuck out or anything, it just feels integrated with the wall. It's kind of nice and simple. Well done. And of course we're around the area we need to be. I don't know where he's going. Alright. Odd friend. More zombies in there to deal with. I'm guessing we can do the lift now. We can. Power's on. Like the green light over there. That's a good, clever use of that. Lift's arrived. Alarm's going off, so we know everything's all good to carry on. We can't go this way. Can't go this way, but we can go through the gap in the wall. And that's a nice change of pace, because normally you would go through the door, but making it so the player has to go through the gap here just adds a little bit more interest and variety to the way you have to move about the level. And what's really nice about the whole level design of this is that everything is kind of based around a single vista. You're not traveling between like 4 or 5 vistas that are going to take up all your brush limit and all your prop limit and everything else. You're walking around in these little connected corridors leading into one major vista every time. So it's really optimized in the way it's used, and it's really kind of nicely done. The lighting here is absolutely gorgeous, as you can tell. It's a slight subtle yellow and a slight subtle blue. That kind of yellow-blue, orangey-blue kind of combo is absolutely classic and really just kind of brings levels to life. Let's see if we can use this barrel to kill quite a few of these bad boys in one go. Half of you are asleep. What's going on with you? Okay. Now we got all of them. Well done, me. And again, you can see really nice detail work on the beams here. I do wonder if these are going to be props. Perhaps they are, perhaps they're not. But they're a really nice detail that you can see consistently used throughout the map. Having a kind of a consistent language is a really important thing for a map, or even a set of maps all taking place in the same location. So the beams used here are very consistently designed. They are all kind of similar in design. I think that's really important. And again, it's not too detailed. You could go wild and have tons of beams going across here, but it's just enough. And with the wires, of course, it kind of just feels like it's bulked out enough to feel like a fulfilling place. It's got purpose. You know, this is a bunch of machines and stuff. You can have barrels of oil or liquid or whatever. Again, with the same style shelving that they used earlier on. It all works out really nicely together and consistently. Obviously, we've got a control room here. It's quite empty, this one. But it feels like it's just a kind of location that's meant to be controlling whatever's in here. I think these are clipped off. You can kind of tell. Now, clipping is a weird one for maps in Half-Life 2. Some maps clip, some maps don't. Valve sometimes clips, Valve sometimes doesn't. Clipping is great for making it really smooth to walk up. There is natural smoothing without clipping. The only issue with clipping is, of course, is if you do sprint upstairs, you do kind of sometimes launch yourself forward, which can put yourself in a few precarious situations. It's treated like a ramp in the best and the worst possible way. 'Cause, 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 Now we can open this door in here, and we come back through this way. What could have been interesting is having a lock on this door that you have to remove a barricade for, so it makes it more obvious that this door was locked before. There isn't anything like that, sadly, but it does make sense. You can link everything back together. If you want to return and explore an area you've been to before, that's always a nice thing you can do. So that's a useful feature to have. You can't go back up there. You can get caught by this barnacle. That's my fault, that one. Oh, there's a zombie in the lift. That's cute. Forgot about that. This is introducing a mechanic, which is always nice. The mechanic of this map is there's kind of a few instances where you have these big spinny things attached to poles that will move back and forth with your gravity gun. You can use them to kill zombies and destroy parts of the environment. It's introduced nicely here where there's not much threat. One zombie, one thing to do. Keeps it simple. Anything new you introduce to the player, you want to give them an opportunity to play around with it first before you kind of move on and use it in a major way. They've got their spotlight up here. It's quite a bright spotlight when you look at that. Ouch, that is really bright. Could just be the sprite they've used. I think that's the spotlight sprite they've used for that one, which can be quite bright on the player. All nicely connected up. Yeah, really good bit of detailing there. And again, nice subtle lighting, very light, with the stronger lights pointing towards where you need to go, which works well. Some more ammo, and off we go on the next section. Again, we get to look at the same vista again and enjoy the view, which is lovely. I think it's nice that you get to revisit the same area. It maximizes the space you've got, and you can see your progression through it as well. You can see how far you're going in the level. When you use the same space as a kind of a landmark, you can see how close you're getting, which for us is kind of the bottom. We're never going to use this particular space, but we are going to reach the bottom before long. So it is quite useful to have that as a marker. Oh, you bastard. Got it. And again, we've got kind of a hint that we're going to be heading over to this side. There's a lot of bright lights over there. There's a lot of detail. The rest of the areas are less detailed, and there's less lights indicating that that's the direction we're going to be going. So we know we need to head our way through these mines over here to get there. We're probably going to be heading over this side at some point as well. So what's really nice is your progress where you go is being sort of a, sorry about that, laid out for you in the map design. Gives you a hint of where you need to be going and how you could progress to get there. There's the head grab there. Where did you go? One more. There you go. 3 hits and they're out. Now my thought is one of these ways is progression and the other one is going to be some goodies. I'm guessing that's progression. And around here will be some goodies. Yes, we are right. Another big thing that makes Half-Life 2 maps really good is having some areas be progression and other areas just be areas you can go to find some extra bits and bobs to help you out on your journey. In this case it's just a slight side corner where you can get yourself some extra ammo and some suit charge. It's not a lot, but it's enough to kind of keep things going, keep things fresh. Right, let's carry on. So again, which one looks more like progression? That other one looks more like progression to me. Now, I kind of like using the shotgun, but we haven't got much ammo for it, so we're going to be good. And we use a barrel. They really want me to use that pistol, don't they? A lot of ammo for that. Ah, there we go, shotgun ammo. Speak of the devil. Oh, automatically filled it up for me. So again, we can see a little bit of a view to where we were a second ago from up there. Again, it's quite nice. Everything's just interconnected. That's either a light map scale, I think, that's giving us that. Yeah, not particularly great light map scale. Projected texture could probably do a better job of that, but that's okay. Some nice ambient sounds of steam. And the tunnel sounds as well. Nice little stinger there. I think it's good to use the gravity gun. It's so often just forgotten about because Half-Life, you know, guns are more fun to shoot. But there's something magical about the gravity gun. It really makes the game feel special. So as we can see, we've reintroduced this section of the puzzle again, and we get to use it to wipe down even more, which is quite nice. And of course, going to head back as well, but I can send it back the other way and send them flying again as well. Brilliant. As you can see, the detailing in this area, it's a little less detailed than the others, but again, it's enough for what it is. You see the sort of right amount of level of detail. The spotlight is on where the enemies are. The rest of the areas are sort of dimly lit with these fluorescent lights over here, and that's consistently used throughout the map. There's kind of this theme for the lighting, which is nice again as well. There's big spotlights are showing where you're going and where the enemies are, and these little lights are just kind of there to kind of light up the areas but not be too prominent. The yellow is quite bright. Whoa, that does sting the eyes there. Nice model there for this one. Oh. Goodbye, friend. And of course now we can progress through there. But I might just head around here because I think this is the sort of side area. Oh wow, that was a one shot with a paint can. So I believe this is the side area. But again, it's a new kind of style. This is one I remember from before being a little bit confusing. I think you can head back out. Yeah, you can head back out here if you wanted to, which is nice. Loops back around so you can return to areas you've previously been to. I believe there's some goodies along here too. If I head along here, I can head along the top part and find some goodies, and then I can head back the other way and find some more goodies. We'll use the shotgun. Oh no, we don't need to. Thanks, Barnacle. Ah, that was progression. So that is sometimes a bit of an issue with maps, is that the player will go one way thinking it's the side area, but in reality it is the main path, and that is something you've got to watch out for, because obviously that can cause a little bit of frustration in some sense. It's difficult to get past these. That's quite a tight angle here to navigate. I could probably use some triangle clipping brushes there. So it's a trick they use in CSGO to make things a bit more smoother to walk along. Right, let's continue on the main path. Put you out your misery. Sorry friend, you're not eating me today. So that also suggests that other area I've missed out some more goodies in, but we'll leave that for now. Interesting. Let's hear the rumbling and the destruction. That's always cool. We'll continue on down the facility. Classic song. Nice vents there. Ooh. A little bit of lag there. Took a bit of damage there, but had a bit of fun with the gravity guns, so that's all alright. Music's still going. And the combat is still pumping. So again, we've got the same spotlight again being used to highlight this is where enemies are, which is quite a nice, again, repeated kind of motif of the level. To make sure you know where there are enemies and what you need to do about it. Now I believe we've got our second big puzzle element. Another one that I really enjoy. This one. In this one you get the grenades and you've got to throw them through the hole. It's a really classic puzzle. Seen it used quite a lot, but I don't remember it being used in a Half-Life 2 at all. Oh, I see it all the way out there, okay. That is a very squeaky vent. But probably deliberately so you know, hey, look, throw something in here. Now, I believe this is done not through your amazing throwing. I believe it's done through a teleporter, if I'm correct in thinking this. Because technically you could throw it through there, but there's a chance it won't work. And I think that was compensated for by having some kind of teleporter that enables you to guarantee the shot each time. And again, we've got very kind of minimal level of detail, but enough to know what's going on and what the area is about. Oh, hello. Did you not realise I was there? You could have got the shot on me there, I was talking. So yeah, very simple level of detail, but enough to kind of know this is the depot, and this is what's not the depot. This is like the, you know, some mining thing, whatever it is. You know, it is what it is. Mining offices. Oh. You've got a bit stuck. I've taken a lot of damage for no reason at all. Again, we got from the same area, we get a little view back to the where we were before. So that's quite nice. Let's head on round and through. Now I believe progression is this way. And we can sneak around up here. And we can get a whole load of goodies. Which, surprisingly, I needed more than I think I wish I did. That's not very good of me. So let's carry on through. These are really nice, the dust motes. Lovely visual effect dust motes. Never used enough. Always looks good. These textures are fantastic for this. This is a particular texture set that lines really nicely with the brushwork, and you can just sort of carve out bricks and it just looks good. Nice use of displacements to show the edges there. Weird glowy bits around there though. I wonder if that's just a source thing for the version source we're on. This is a good combat arena. I remember this one from before. It's a really nice space where you've got enough space to move. Combat arenas can be really dull if you don't have enough space to move around. But you do here. You have enough space and enough cover. Oh, got by manhack. We're only on normal as well. Don't tell anybody. Right, in we go. Round 2. I'll let them fight them a little bit. I'll come around over here. And again, we get a few reinforcements, which is nice. It's not just you versus the zombies and the few guys here. Oh, shotgunner. I've always liked how distinct the shotgunner's eyes are compared to the regular soldiers. This really makes it obvious that these guys are super dangerous. Ooh. Come back. Yeah, forgot these. Their rotors have like a hurt attached to them. Like a trigger hurt attached to them, so you can just kind of slam them into enemies and they do damage, which is kind of interesting. Fun little mechanic there with it. So we need to activate another one. We've got a wire we need to attach over here. Again, we've seen this before. We've been introduced to this particular mechanic earlier this map, and we know that we need to activate the light there somehow. So now we've got a little spark up here which shows us, hey, look up. We've got a wire you could use. So that's nice. Kind of gives you a hint as to where you need to go and what you need to do. Really, really, really nicely telegraphed. So that's always good. This map does the telegraphing and the gameplay just so effectively. There's just so much you can learn from it. And again, we can see the mechanic we've got to do. This one I definitely know uses a teleport to make it work, because there's just no way that would work otherwise. And then perfect, that falls off. Now I believe this is a brush-based crane with some crane models attached to it, because I don't remember the crane being this wide, and it's a really nicely done model, really effective. Might have to borrow that for something I'm working on, because that's a really cool looking effect. And the same over here as well. You can see this kind of like brush element above here, just really nicely done. It's enough detail, it stands out from the other parts, just makes it look really professional. So yeah, good stuff. And that's nice, you can look, I just realised you can look down, you can see that there's grenades there as well, which is quite useful. Again, everything you need is highlighted really well and naturally without you realising it's being highlighted. And I think that's the real masterfulness of this mod, is that everything you need to know has been done to a level that Valve would do and above. You know where you need to be placing things, you know what you need to do, in a way that you just wouldn't normally see in many games nowadays even. So yeah, fantastic mod. So now I've applied that, what does it do? It brings down the lift. So again, similar mechanics all throughout the mod, everything is kind of shown in a similar way. And the same alarm goes off as soon as the lift lands as well. Just that short little extra reminder that, hey, this is the lift you got to take. So if you weren't looking, you're definitely going to know the lift's arrived. And it's the same lift prop as well, which is nice. So off we go up. Again, just an absolutely fantastic area. Just one of the best, I think, designed areas in any Half-Life 2 mod ever, period. There's a little bit of Z fighting there, that's a shame. Yeah, and a really good level transition too, having it when you're in the lift, so it doesn't feel like it's kind of in your way or a bit random. A natural break point in the combat and the game. And again, the same alarm. That must be really annoying if you work here. You worked in this place. So again, nicely detailed. I love the ambient blue and the orange here. It's just such a nice looking area. Oh, random revolver. I'm sure I've missed that revolver before. So again, we get a lovely view of where we're going. I think this mod just does it perfectly, showcasing this is where you're going. This is where you're gonna head. This is what you got to do to get there. Now, if I remember correctly, we've got to go down here. That would also mean there's stuff up here we can use. We've obviously got this. Let's get some juice. I like how they've connected these to the wall elements. That's a clever little idea there. Shotgun ammo, and again I haven't really used the other weapons as much. Shotgun's just so fun and satisfying compared to the other guns. Like, this is fine, it just doesn't have the most satisfying sound, I find. The pistol, again, same issue. Animations just make it feel kind of floppy. It's very good, the pistol, if you use it, but it's just not as exciting. So here's a great little signal there's going to be a fight. You see the flare go up. Love that effect. And again, the Combine have got lots of cover, but so have you. So you can, again, move around the environment in any particular way you want to. You've got tons of options. They've got tons of options. The music's pumping. What else do you need? It's a good fight. I'm going to head over here. Will that be stuck out details here? I know that's how the texture looks, but that's a clever little detail there. Oh. Don't look at the environment, you will get killed. Let's use the pistol for a bit. Kids in the back, but I'm not quite sure where they are. Let's go to the shotgun. Good. From behind, one more. Breakable cover, always nice. Yeah, it's just so many options. Like, it's a good environment to have a fight in. So many mods just have combat where you're just literally fighting in a single corridor in a single room. For this one, I kind of like the idea of it as being a bit like a figure of eight, or like the 3-lane style effect of things. A bit like how you design like a Counter-Strike map. You design a miniature version for your combat arenas for any kind of Half-Life game. Oh, bit of lag there. Guess that's an autosave. Interesting. I don't know what's going on there. Bit weird. This is actually a really nicely designed architecture. Again, brushwork is quite primitive here. You could probably put a few more and you'd probably be okay about the brush limit and the optimization, but it does look good. Texture work looks really nice too. A bit like a CS Prodigy, it reminds me of. Bit of downtime underground. Oh. I wonder if I can break this open with this. No. Well, that's a shame. I thought it'd be where there's some goodies. No. Oh well. I was just supposed to show it's a resistance kind of a hideout type place. Oh, we've got more baddies to come. Probably just a light combat encounter. Yeah. Just a kind of a keep playing reminder. What's quite nice, it is split between very light encounters and your heavy encounters, which I think is really important in a mod, or in any game really, is that you have very, very light combat and then you have very heavy combat too. And this is a good example of some light combat. Doesn't really take a lot of thinking to win the fight, but does just keep you on your toes whilst things are going. Ah, so this is what we were looking for. Come here. Thank you. Any more goodies over there? Now, never tried this before. No. Doesn't work. Worth a try. Oh! Oh, come on. What is going on with this? So again, a few more just kind of light combat encounters, nothing major. But what's nice is this one's really well introduced. The previous one's introduced with the Combine burning these rebels probably alive. That's pleasant. The next one is introduced really nicely with them actually helping the other guys bringing down this flammable liquid. And they've realised you're there, so they've set a barrel on fire. I think the micro storytelling with these last two combat encounters is just brilliant. It's absolutely stunning. Masterfully done. And I think that's kind of how all good short encounters like that should be done. Just that little bit of a hint to what's going on that sort of gives you a bit more backstory behind everything. See a nice pipe work. I like the use of the red just to give it a bit of a colour, because it is quite a dull area, but they've made things look nice with the additional elements in here, and everything's very consistently textured. It's not overly detailed. You can very easily overdo it with Half-Life 2 maps to try and make it look more modern. You can overdo things, and I think this just masterfully does it. The better way to make things look more modern is to have more props that sort of highlight things like trims and details, as opposed to spamming more objects and more kind of textures. I know that's what the cinematic mod did wrong, really, essentially, I think, artistically. I'm sure there's better ladder props you could do than that, but that's okay. Everything's going to be perfect. So again, just lightly detailed, enough to convince you that this is now part of a barn. Doesn't need to be too much, but it's that right level. Here we go. I think what's better is having a kind of a consistent theme more than it is having artistically intense views. It's having textures that fit a theme, architecture that fits a theme, and a layout that fits a theme. And the gameplay's got to come first, and then the layout's got to come second. I wonder. Oh, nice. That's exciting. What about this one? Yes. So again, light combat, but some fun ways of dealing with it. And again, this is where Half-Life 2 really stands out, is when you can use the environment against your enemies. That's not going to do anything for me, is it? Oh, no. So that's really cool that you can shoot out the the logs. That's such a nice touch there. Let's give it a little room in here that doesn't actually have anything, it doesn't look like. Unless I'm missing something. Oh. Potentially, probably too much combat one after the other. There, but you know, again, it's light, so it's not too bad. It's nice they've got these little barricades set up to kind of show that they are preparing for your arrival, preparing to help sort of prevent you from getting there. Now the real wonder is if this like matches up with the underground, and if it does, that's genius. It's the next level art design. No, can't go that way. And of course, you got barrels. Potentially could be highlighted better with different style glass to make it easier to see. But again, from what we've learnt, we know what to do. We place that in there, we run. Cool guys do look at explosions. We take our extra grenade, because we can never have enough. And that is sounds in the game, there's not something outside that sounds weird. Ooh, interesting light swing effect, I like that. There's nice detailing there. Again, it's just enough to get the point across. Could be done really fancily with a prop, but it's just nicely done. It works for what it is. Get out of my way. I guess if I was being nitpicky here, you could make the stair textures align properly. So you have the trims on the edges. That always looks nice when they do that, but they haven't there. These aren't clipped, so there's a bit of an inconsistency with that. But again, you know, for the quality of this mod, that's such a minor gripe, that you've got inconsistencies there. It's nice to see a little bit of distant visual scenery. It's only slight, but it's enough to kind of get the hint that you're in a wider area. That's always really key in any kind of Half-Life 2 map. Source engine is not great for rendering large spaces, and Valve have masterfully done it in their levels where they've added those little distant bits of scenery so you know you're in a bigger location. Again, here they've mimicked that with a similar kind of style, and it's done really well again as well. Small building, very simply made, but it mimics the style of the one over here. It makes it feel like you're in a larger location than you actually are, and it just sort of really sort of sells the thing. We can't turn this on just yet, or we can. Oh, okay, the button was on. I thought it was red for being inactive. Oh. See a friend? Guess I'm gonna go back out there. Oh no! Sorry, Station 12. We did! And again, what's really nice is you can see everywhere you've been in this map as well. Everything links together to this one vista. And I think that's something that I just can't help but highlight enough, is that you have, in every map, one major vista that you link back to. I think that's just the real key magic that made Half-Life 2 Half-Life 2. It's having a single location. You work your way around and you go, I'm getting there, I'm getting there. And I think we go across the bridge and fight the gunship's our last thing, if I remember correctly. Well, I've responded. Nothing was said. Let's go forth. Ooh. Autosave. Here we go. Final combat sequence. Oh, oh, you got it. Gotcha. Right. 2 more, right? That's another one. 5 it is then. Or not. Thank goodness, could do with that. Nice. Oh, don't land on me, please. Oh, and that's it. Got to end so abruptly, but for a mod, it's one of those just really, really, really well designed mods. It's just perfectly done. Very much Valve style. You know, always a couple of bits you can improve, but probably one of the best mods out there. So, yeah, good job, Chuck Wilson. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little playthrough and some random comments on it all as well. You know, don't know what benefit it'll be for somebody, but hey, I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll try and do a few more mods, just kind of talk over them as I play and see what I can comment on about their design and stuff. But yeah, no, really nicely done. I love the way they've really incorporated the Valve principles of sort of having set kind of gameplay elements that you teach the player throughout the map. Like, for example, the grenade throwing puzzle that you introduced earlier on, along with the mechanic of the beams that you push along those rails that you teach the player about earlier on. Really nice directional lighting as well, telling the player where to go with those big spotlights, and then kind of highlighting where enemy combat is happening with those elements as well, which is nice. And just really nicely designed arenas. You know, there's enough space to move around. I think movement is what makes Half-Life Half-Life. So it's nice that all the arenas you have got plenty of space for the player to move. So yeah, good job, Chuck. Really well designed. Yeah. If you like the video, like and subscribe and all that stuff. Comment on a mod you might want me to play. I don't know, maybe I'll play it and talk about it. I'm not quite sure. We'll see if we've got time for it. But yeah, thanks for joining me, everybody. Ciao for now.